Hey guys, what's up? This is Ananya, your master teacher at Vedantu for Social Science. How are you all? I'm sure you guys are taking very good care of yourself. So, bacho, let's continue with our story of Indian freedom struggle. And in this Indian freedom struggle, right now we are dealing with the Indian national movement. And if you guys remember in my previous video, I explained you about how the Indian National Congress was formed. Okay. So, what happened after the formation of Indian National Congress? We will now continue with our story. All right, chalo, let's continue. Now, before that, if you guys remember, I gave you some homework questions, and so let's see who all gave the fastest answer in the comment section. So, the question was: second session of Indian National Congress was held in which year? Option A 1885, option B 1886, and is it option C 1887? So the right option is 1886. So we are talking about second session of Indian National Congress. Second question was: Gift of Monotheist was written by whom? This book was published by whom? Sorry, in which language? So is it English, Sanskrit, or is it Persian? So the right answer is Persian. And let me tell you who all gave the right answer. And we have got Kushi, Nidhi, and Siddhi giving the fastest right answer in the comment section. Amazing, guys, amazing. Great one, great, superb. So guys, in a similar way, I want everyone to give me the answers in the comment section. I always keep you asking the questions at the end of the session. So make sure that you guys are giving me the answer in the comment section. And one more thing, if you have any doubts during the session, make sure that you guys are telling me in the comment section. All right, chalo, let's continue, guys. So people, today in this particular video, I'm going to continue with our Indian national movement. If you remember, last time in 1885, Indian National Congress was formed. Okay. So after the formation of Indian National Congress, what happened? Let's understand. Now guys, Indian National Congress, okay, whatever they did from 1885 till 1947, we can divide the entire struggle of Indian National Congress into three phases. All right. So Indian national movement can be classified into three phases. Early nationalist phase between 1885 to roughly 1907, then assertive phase between 1907 to 1916, and finally we have got Gandhian era roughly from 1915 to 1947. So guys, these three phases are known as the phases of Indian national movement. All right, let me make it very simple for everyone. Guys, the early phase, the leaders or the politicians in early nationalist phase were also known as moderates. They were also known as moderates, guys, because they were not violent in nature. All right, so they used to request the Britishers to fulfill their demands, to listen to their grievances. All right, so they were not violent. That is why they were known as moderates. On the other hand, if we talk about assertive, guys, they were extremists. Extremists means they were violent in nature. They were extremists, means they were violent in nature. And the last one we have got is Gandhian era. Guys, during Gandhian era, Gandhiji's philosophy was more influential in India. All right. So we can say that Indian national movement can be classified or divided into three phases: moderates, extremists, and Gandhian era. All right. So guys, what are we going to learn in this particular session? In this particular session, I'm going to teach you guys about the early nationalists, which lasted from 1885 to roughly till 1907. All right, let's continue. Now guys, who were the member of the moderates era? Members were from educated middle class. So we can say that the members who were there in early nationalist era, those were educated middle class. Now you will say, sir, at least tell some names of those politicians or those political leaders from the early nationalist. I will tell you after this slide. All right. Now guys, these were involved into the profession of lawyers, being barristers, teachers, and they were inspired from the Western thoughts. Now guys, do not take it in a negative way. I'm not saying that they were inspired from Western thoughts means they used to disregard Oriental education or Indian education. No. Guys, they took some positive things from the Western education. All right. So they were inspired from the Western thoughts. Let me tell you who were the people, who were some of the politicians who were involved in the nationalist, early nationalist phase. Like we can see Vomesh Chandra Banerjee, Raj Bihari Ghosh, Surendranath Banerjee, R.C. Dutt from Bengal, then Dadabhai Nauroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Firoz Shah Mehta, Justice Ranade from Maharashtra and Gujarat, then P.R. Naidu, Subramaniam Iyer, Ananda Charlu from Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, Pandit Madam Mohan Malviya from Uttar Pradesh, Madan. Then liberal Englishmen. So guys, we can say that some Englishmen were also involved with the early nationalist phase of Indian national movement, like Hume and Wedderburn. So guys, these were some of the leaders, all right, from the early nationalist phase, that we call it as moderates era from 1885 to 1907. Okay, I would suggest you remember few of the names. It is not necessary that you have to remember all these names. At least remember few of the names. One from Bengal, one from Maharashtra and Gujarat, one from Tamil Nadu, one from Uttar Pradesh, one from Britishers. You can learn at least one from different parts of India. All right, great, good one. So guys, these were some of the leaders. What was their objective? Let's understand their objectives. Guys, they wanted reforms in the constitutions. They wanted reforms in economical field, economic reforms. They had some administrative demands, and they wanted defense of civil rights. Now let's understand everything in detail. First of all, we will start with constitutional reforms. Now, bacha, what is the meaning of reforms? Reforms means changes. Constitution means it's a rule book. In Hindi, we call it as this one, Samvidhan. Oh my God. So guys, in Hindi, we call it as Samvidhan. So they wanted some constitutional reforms. What kind of reforms they wanted? Let's understand. Guys, they wanted India to be democratic, but fear that government would suppress their activities. All right. Now, guys, they wanted that India should become a democratic country, but not immediately. Why? But guys, because they were of the view that if we immediately demand of being a democratic country, then in that case, Britishers will definitely suppress our activities. All right, they will stop our activities. So basically, what they demanded abolition of Indian Council. Guys, Indian Council was it was a political body of Britishers. So they wanted abolition of Indian Council, cancellation of Indian Council. Second, expansion of legislative council and assemblies. They wanted legislative council and assemblies, means the representatives in legislative council and assemblies should be elected but directly by the people. Okay, it should have people's representatives. And they wanted Indian control over public purse. Indian control over public purse. Now, what do we understand from this? Guess what do we keep in purse? Money. Already in wallet and in purse, it's a small bag in which we keep money. So they wanted control over public purse. What do we understand from this? Let me tell you. Guys, Indians started raising the slogans of no taxation without representation. Guys, we had a clear idea that we will only pay taxes when we will have representation. Simple as that. If we do not have any representation, we won't be paying any taxes. All right. So this was known as Indian control over public purse, over public money. All right. Guys, because Indian representation was very less. Now, guys, they wanted Swarajya. Indian people, like Indian, they over here, guys, it is in context with early nationalist. All right. Guys, whatever I'm going to tell you today in this session, everything has a reference with early nationalist, moderates. All right, so do not get confused. Guys, they wanted Swarajya, like self-governing colonies. So guys, self-governing colonies means we wanted our own right to rule our own country. Simple as that. Okay, like it had in Canada and Australia. In a similar way, we also wanted the same. We wanted adequate representation of Indians in the executive council of the viceroy and those of the governors. Simple as that. We wanted Indians to represent the executive council of viceroy. Okay, what is executive, guys? A political organ which actually administers the country. Okay, legislative makes the laws and executive implements the law. So these early nationalists wanted our representation, Indian representatives should be there in executive council. These were the constitutional reforms which these people were demanding. Now coming to the next one, my dear students, economic reforms, okay, related to money. Now what sort of economic reforms we were expecting? Okay, again guys, let me remind you, we are studying in context with early nationalists, that is moderates. They wanted reduction in land revenue and protection of peasants against unjust demand of zamindars. Do you remember the new land revenue policy? I guess many times I told you in my last session about the new land revenue policy of Britishers. It was exploiting the peasants. Okay? So what reforms we wanted? We wanted reduction in land revenue, the taxes which our peasants were paying. So these early nationalists were demanding the reduction in land revenue. Simple. Next, reduction in expenditure. What is the meaning of expenditure? The one which we spend. All right. Income means which we earn and expenditure means which we spend. So these early nationalists wanted reduction in expenditure on the army. So there was a lot of money which was spent on army. So we wanted reduction in the expenditure on army, and the money thus saved to spent on the welfare activities. And the money which will be saved, this should be spent for the welfare activities, good for the people, like in the field of health, in the field of education, it should be spent. An inquiry into India's growing poverty and famine. So guys, these early nationalists were demanding an inquiry on India's growing poverty and famine. So guys, there was a growing famine. What is famine? Extreme shortage of food is known as famine. All right. So poverty was also increasing, famine was also growing. So we wanted an inquiry, we wanted a meeting over this. Why it is happening so? Okay, they also wanted availability of cheap credit. Guys, what is the meaning of credit? Loan. Okay, so availability of cheap credit to the peasants through agricultural banks. So there should be agricultural banks which should be set up for the peasants, for the farmers, wherein they can take loan from agricultural banks, and when they will repay this loan, the rate of interest should be less. So guys, these economic reforms early nationalists were demanding from Britishers between 1885 to roughly 1907. Alright, guys, do not forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. Alright, and if possible, try to share this video with your friends as well. Awesome. Some more economic reforms, let's understand. Guys, development of banking, we wanted development in the banking structure, in the irrigation. What is irrigation? Artificially supplying of water in agricultural fields. Okay, harvesting the water and using that water for farming activities later on. So that is known as irrigation. So we wanted development in banking system, irrigation, medical, health facilities for the people. Amazing changes we wanted. Industrial growth through trade protection. Now, what is the meaning of trade protection? There should be an industrial growth. Guys, it is very simple. When the industries grows, the poverty also reduces. Simple as that. Because when industrialization takes place, people will get jobs, and when people will get jobs, they will earn money, and when they will earn money, it will reduce poverty. So we had a focus on industrial growth through trade protection. Now what is the meaning of trade protection? This point I have already explained in my previous session, but still I will explain you, don't worry. That means a heavy tax should be imposed. Heavy taxes should be imposed on imported goods. Matlab, the goods which are coming from England to India, heavy taxes should be imposed. And if you remember, the situation was exactly opposite. Heavy taxes were imposed on the exported goods. The goods which were exported from India to England, heavy taxes were imposed on those goods, and the goods which were imported from England to India, very less taxes were imposed. Due to which, what was happening? The Indian industrialist, or the Indian workers, or the Indian artisans, the cottage industries, the small scale industries was facing a huge loss. So that means a heavy tax should be imposed on imported goods, and the government should give loans for the development of iron, coal, paper and sugar industries in India. So Indian industries should be boosted, and there should be heavy taxes which should be imposed on the goods coming from England. I hope, my dear students, you are able to understand each and every point. Great. Total abolition of salt tax. and the duty on sugar. Um, Guys, our early nationalists demanded total abolition, cancellation of the taxes which were imposed on salt. Now, guys, in the coming sessions, I will be telling you about a great historical event which gave rise to civil disobedience movement on 12th of March 1930. So it will take time, and that was Salt March. I'm sure most of my viewers are already aware about the Salt March, the Dandi March. It was a famous Salt March which was started by Gandhiji. So we will be discussing that event which is associated with salt in the Gandhian era. All right. But let me tell you guys, we wanted to abolish the taxes which were imposed on salt. There was a simple reason, because salt was easily available in our nature and it was freely available in our nature. And we had a view that why taxes are imposed on salts. It is a need of every person, be it poor or be it rich. So taxes should not be imposed on salt and sugar. So we demanded such kind of reforms. All right, guys, great. Now some administrative demands were also there. Okay, we had some administrative demands as well, like demands for Indianization of services through simultaneous Indian civil service examination in England and India. So there should be Indian civil services examination in England and India, wherein there should be more involvement of Indians through Indian civil service examination. Complete separation of the executive and judiciary. Guys, these are the two important organs of government, executive and judiciary. Already said you, legislative is also one more important organ of body which makes the laws. Executive implements the law, they execute the laws, and judiciary gives justice. All right. So these two organs should be separate, should be different. All right. Why? They made this demand to protect Indians from arbitrary acts of the police and the bureaucracy. So guys, police and the bureaucrats used to implement some unfair policies on Indians. Already discussed in the previous session about those unfair policies made by the Britishers. So we wanted executive and judiciary to function separately so that we should be protected by those arbitrary acts. Arbitrary acts means unfair practices. All right, wrong practices, wrong policies. Increase in the power of the local bodies and reduction in the official control over them. So guys, local bodies should be given more power so that they can administer their area in a better way without any dominance of officials over there. Some more administrative demands we had, like repeal of Arms Act and License Act. If you remember, guys, repeal means to withdraw. Do you remember Indians cannot carry arms and ammunition without license, and this was not applied on Britishers? Yes. So we wanted to withdraw this Arms Act and License Act. Secondly, wider employment of Indians in the higher grades of the administrative services. If you guys remember, Indians were not given higher position in the administrative services. So we demanded for employment of Indians in higher grade of services, which was only, like we can say that, which was only for Britishers at that time. Spread of primary education among the masses. There should be a basic education which should be given to all the people. All right. Improvement of the, so that we can reduce illiteracy. Improvement of the police system and to make it honest, efficient and popular. So corruption should be reduced within police system. Simple as that. So these are some of the administrative demands we had. Okay, we in the sense, again let me tell you, it is in context with the early nationalists from 1885 to 1907, which we call them as moderates as well. All right, moderates means they were not violent in nature. They demanded the Britishers to fulfill their demands. All right, good one. Now, defense of civil rights. Now, my dear students, what is the meaning of civil rights? Civilians, the people like you and me. Okay, like right to speech is a civil right. Right to move anywhere within the country is a civil right. Okay, so there should be a defense over civil rights. So what was it? Let's understand in detail. Removal of restrictions imposed by the British government on the freedom of speech, freedom of press. Now guys, do you know when Britishers were ruling India, most of the times they had taken the freedom of speech from Indians. So guys, this is a basic civil right which everybody expects, and we were also expecting the same thing. So we wanted to remove the restrictions which were imposed by the British government over the freedom of speech, okay, and also freedom of press. My dear friends, what is the meaning of freedom of press? Do you remember Vernacular Press Act? याद आ रहा है Vernacular Press Act? Like the media cannot publish, or the newspaper cannot publish vernacular newspapers, means the newspapers which are in regional languages other than English, they cannot publish anything against the Britishers. So we wanted a freedom over press, but we had no freedom over the press. So we wanted to remove such restrictions. All right, guys, great. I'm trying to connect it with the previous videos. We wanted to abolition of Preventive Detention Act and restoration of individual liberty. My dear students, liberty means freedom. Now, what is the meaning of Preventive Detention Act? We wanted to abolish this Detention Act. Guys, what this act says, if government has doubt over any person that that person can or maybe can do any cognizable offense or criminal act, then that person will be arrested on the grounds of being doubtful. All right. So that Preventive Detention Act should be abolished. Restoration of rights to assemble and to form associations. We should have the right to assemble, to form groups and to form associations. So these are some of the civil rights we were expecting from them. My dear students, I hope you guys are able to understand everything. Now guys, before I move ahead with the last topic of this particular session, I want you guys to listen to our pro subscription, guys. Now if I ask you, like, are you guys able to understand everything? You will be like, sir, yes, we are almost able to understand everything. So if I tell you to join Vedantu, why would you? If you guys are able to understand everything over here, why would you join Vedantu? So let me tell you guys why you should join Vedantu. All right. First of all, guys, Vedantu is giving you a promise. The promise which you will never get it from any of the offline or any of the online institute other than Vedantu. So what promise we are giving you? Before I tell you about the promise, let me tell you about our features of Vedantu. Guys, when you take our pro subscription, here you will get unlimited live classes. You can attend unlimited live classes. Are you guys getting it? Not only this, guys, you actually compete with the students throughout the world when you are in Vedantu. How? It's very simple, guys, because students in Vedantu are not only from India, they come from different countries as well. So basically, look at the competition you are having. Guys, if you miss out the session due to any reason, you can watch the replays, and those replays are going to be interactive. Do you know what are interactive replays? Means if you miss out the session, later on when you will watch the replays, you can participate in the quizzes later on also, and you can find your name on leaderboard. Yes. You can download the content given by your master teachers. So master teachers who are making their notes, you can download all those notes. Not only this, are you guys able to ask me doubts over here or with any other teachers? Are you guys able to ask doubts to the other teachers as well? No. But over there, all your doubts are solved during the sessions. Now you will have a question, sir. Okay, during the sessions, also all the doubts are solved. What about after the session or before the session? So for that, we have got a doubts app as well. So if you enroll to one of our subscription, that is Pro Classic, you will get doubts app. What is doubts app? After the session, before the session, you can ask doubts. You have an access to micro courses and crash courses, my dear students. Do you know what are micro courses? Let's take an example. If you want to attend any specific chapter of any subject, once again. So what you can do, you can enroll to that specific chapter micro course, and that you can attend unlimited, which actually other students buy or pay for these micro courses. It is going to be absolutely free for you. So just imagine, guys, you are getting more and more number of classes with lesser the price. So that is why, guys, I'm telling you, you can try of joining Vedantu. Obviously, guys, it is not compulsory. It is always, guys, me as well as all our master teachers are always there with you on YouTube as well. But if you join Vedantu, these are the features which you will be getting. It's very simple, guys, to join our pro subscription. The link is there in the description box, and it is also in the very first comment. You just have to click on that comment. You will be redirected to our website. Okay, these are our plans. Guys, the best amazing part, when you go to these plans, you can try it for 1 month also. So the price which you can see, this is for 1 year. You can try it for 1 month also, which is at 2,600. And if you apply my coupon code as ADPRO, as you can see on the screen, the price will come down. All right, to 2340. Simple as that. So guys, you can try all these plans. My personal suggestion would be at least try it for a month. Take the experience of Vedantu, and this is my guarantee. You will take our long-term batches also. Now, if you take our long-term batches, what are the benefits? Before I tell you about the benefits of that, let me tell you the promise which we are giving you. And this promise you will only get when you take our long-term batches for the entire year. The promise is, if you feel after taking the course on Vedantu for the entire year, there has been no progress as per your expectation, like you expected a rise of 5%, 10% or 15%, and if the rise or if the performance is not as per your expectations, we will return your fees back. Yes, you have heard it right. Without asking any questions, we will return your fees, complete fees back. Guys, we just need a small commitment from your end. Minimum 75% of the classes should be attended, and the tests which are given to you, minimum 75% should be completed. If you guys are giving us such commitment, then we are promising you, if the performance is not as per your expectations, we will return your fees back. So guys, this promise we are giving you. So that is why, guys, there are multiple reasons to join Vedantu, right? So guys, our sessions are going to start from 12th of July. So the link is there in the description box. Go over there, hurry up and join our batches. All right. You can see, yes, 19th of July, 12th of July, our batches are going to start. All right. Great. Do not forget to use the coupon code as ADPRO to get additional 10% discount. Chalo. Now guys, let's understand the methods of moderates. What is the meaning of moderates? As I told you, those early nationalists from 1885 to 1907. All right. So let's understand their methods of working. Now we have got two sets, first set and second set. Let's understand what was first set of methods. What was the objectives? Educate people in modern politics. Take that people should know what is modern politics. Arouse national political consciousness. Our early nationalists tried their level best to inculcate the values of nationalism in the minds of the common people, so that there should be more and more people to join the struggle of Indian freedom struggle against the Britishers, to create a united public opinion. What were their methods, guys? How they used to put demands in front of Britishers. Let's see the methods. Held meetings and resolutions were passed. So meetings were conducted, resolutions were passed that we will do so and so thing. We used press, that is media, to criticize the government. We tried to criticize the government with the help of print media, so that more and more people should come to know about the real face of Britishers. We used to send memorandum. Memorandum means written thing, something which isn't written and something which is official. So we used to send memorandum and petitions to the government. Okay, we used to send these written demands to the government. All right, this was one of the way. What was the second set of methods? Objective was to influence the British government and British people. How? Guys, we used 3 P's. What is one of 3 P's? Petition, prayer and protest. Let me sum up this. Guys, those early nationalists used to demand from the Britishers. We used to request the Britishers to fulfill our demands. That is why they were known as moderates. They were not violent in nature. They were moderates. Guys, there was a weekly journal. It was a kind of magazine which was known as India. Was published by the British Committee of Indian National Congress in 1889. It was printed in London. Deputations of political leaders to carry an active propaganda. Now guys, what is known as deputation of political leaders? Guys, deputation का मतलब होता है, deputation means when a group of people on behalf of somebody gives some message. Okay, when a group of people on behalf of somebody gives some message to the other people, so that is known as deputation. So deputation of political leaders, so it was a group of the political leaders and they carried the idea of active propaganda, the politics which was going on in India. All right, guys. So this was the phase of this was the first phase of Indian national movement related to earliest nationalist, that is moderate era from 1885 to 1907. By the way, the story is yet not completed. In the next session, I am going to come up with the story once again because the story is going to be continued from here, and let's see what is going to come in the next session. So guys, this is what we saw in today's session. We saw the early nationalists, who were the people who were involved into this early nationalist phase, what was their demand, what was their method, everything we saw in today's session. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure that do not forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our channel. Now coming to the homework questions, and I want everybody to give the answers in the comment section. So the question is, Indianization of services and reduction in taxes were the demands of the early nationalists. So the statement is true or false. Second, 3 P's refers to what? Petitions, prayers and dash. Practice, privileged, or is it protest? So these are 2 simple questions, guys, for the homework. So I'll be seeing you guys in the next session. I'll see you guys in my next video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourself. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Take care.